We're learning Zil Nishmas Etta Ahuva Bas Yaakov Maseches Eduyos Perek Gimel Mishna Ches Shloisha Dvarim Reb Tzadik Mitame v'Chachamim Mitar. There are three things in which Reb Tzadik is Mitame and the Chachamim are Mitar. The Mishnayos over here, Mishna Ches, is also brought in Maseches Kelim Perek Yud Beis Mishna Hey, and the following Mishnah, Mishna Tes, is brought in the same Perek in Kelim in the following Mishnah over there. So the Mishnah Acharayna over there says that Reb Tzadik is only mitame in these three things. Every other place in Shas, Reb Tzadik is always mekel, but in these three things, he's machmer. So what are the three things? Mismar hashulchani, the nail of a banker. So the Rav over here brings two pshatim. One is it's a nail that you hang the scale on, and the other pshat is that it's a nail or some sort of peg that when they opened up their window, it rested on this mismar. And the svara pshuta over here would be that such a thing is not mitame like the chachamim say, and the reason is because it's tashmisha ima karka, it's like karka, it's not a kli, and therefore it shouldn't be mikabel tuma. The reason why Reb Tzadik is mitame is because he held that sometimes you use this mismar for other purposes besides the shimush that's used with the karka. The second case in the Mishnah is arin shel groises. Machlokes rishonim, if this is also referring to a mismar of the arin shel groises, but the groises is beans. It's a place that they stored their beans after it was ground, and if it's a mismar, then it's some sort of peg that was attached to it. So the machlokes Reb Tzadik and the Chachamim, the Rav says on the tzad that it's a aron, that the Chacham held that it's tar because it's a kli ha'asil and achas, it's not meant to move, and a kli eitz is dafka mitame if it's movable. And according to Reb Tzadik, since sometimes you do use it to move, so therefore it is mitame. And the final case in the Mishnah is Mismar shel Evan Shois, which Evan Shois is a rock that was used for the time, and the Mismar is a peg, which again is machlokes what exactly this dial or peg was. Is it the piece that gave the shade because they would tell time based on the sun, and when it hit against it, it would go in different directions, or was it like the actual mark of showing what time it was? So again, there's a machlokes, Reb Tzadik's mitam and the chachamim is matar. And again, the machlokes is that Reb Doisa held that since sometimes it was used for a kli, so therefore, which was metalta that you moved, so therefore it is mitame. The chachamim held since right now it's attached to the ground, so therefore it's tar. Mishnah Tes arba dvarim gamliel mitame v'chachamim mitarin. There are four times that Gamliel is mitame and the Chachamim are mitar. The first one is kisui teni shel mateches shabali batim, the cover of a metal basket. So if it was used by bali batim, so then Gamliel is mitame because he holds that the cover is considered a kli since it has a base kibul, you could put stuff in it. The Chachamim are mitar because they hold that a kisui is not considered a kli, a cover is not considered a kli. If the Mishnah over there in Kelim, Perek Yud Beis, Mishnah Gimel, an earlier Mishnah over there said that such a thing, if it wasn't Shabali Batim, if it was Shel Roifim, that the doctors used it, then they would taka use the cover because they would put their medicine in like the cover cap, I guess, and then it taka was used for a kli, then everyone would hold that it's tameh. The second thing in our Mishnah is Toli Hamagardes. There were hooks that were attached to the comb that you would hang it using those hooks. So Reb Gamliel was mitame because that itself is considered a shimish, to be considered a kli, and the Chachamim held that such a thing is not considered a shimish for a kli used to hang. The third machlokes is by gulme kli mateches, which are unfinished metal kelim. So this is brought in Chulin Daf Chav Hey Amebez, and over there the Gemara is mechalik, the Bryce is mechalik by kli eitz. If it's unfinished, then it's going to be tameh. But by kli mateches, if it's unfinished, it's tar. And the Gemara asks, Mishna Hani or Mishna Hani? The Gemara says two pshatim, either because l'chaved asuyin, it's meant for kaved, a kli mateches, and therefore it's not considered a kli until it's finished and it's in its full glory, its full kaved. And the other pshat, Rav Nachman says hayil d'meim yikarim, since it's expensive, so until it's fully done, it's not considered useful. And the Gemara says, "My benai kli etzem." Bone, kalim made out of bone, so then it's expensive, but it's not meant for kaved. So therefore, it will be totally on these two terutzim, whether if it's unfinished, whether it will be mitama. Al kopanim over here is a machlokes, that which that brisa and chulin said that it's tar, Rav Gamliel is going to hold that it's tameh. And the last machlokes, Rav Gamliel and the chachamim, is by tavla shenechla kol shnayim. If you have a plate that was split into two, the Rav brings down that it had a kli kibul, there was like a rim around it, and it was made out of cheres. But now that you split it, you don't know which one is the main one, so it's going to be totally in the machlekes. However, moedim chachamim gamliel betavla shenecha kol shnayim echa gadol ve'echa katan. If after you split it, one's bigger than the other one, so then everyone's going to be maskim hagadol tameh v'katan tar. The machlekes over here is only when it was split to the exact amount. So the Tosfos Yontif explains that they're arguing whether we say it's efshel etzamtzein or efshel etzamtzein. The Chacham are mitar because they hold that it's efshel etzamtzein. Therefore, since it's exactly half each one, we're not going to say it's tameh. However, Gamliel held misafik, we're not sure, and therefore one of them might be bigger than the other. So misafik, they're both tameh. The Tosfos Yontif also brings down over there that even though after you split it, there's no rim is only going to be from 3 directions and not the 4th directions, we're talking about that it's still roi to be used with 3 directions. It's still able to hold something. And therefore, it would be tameh after you split it.